Thank you for viewing this Danfoss Drives technical support video. This video will discuss a VLT drive displaying an alarm 14 or 45 earth fault. Please take a moment now to pause the video to read the safety warnings shown here. Failure to follow these warnings could result in death or serious injury.
Hello, my name is Jeff Olson, and I'm part of the training team here at Danfoss Drives North America. Today, I'm here to talk to you about two different alarms, both of which are caused by the exact same condition. The drive is tripped, and alarm 14 earth fault or alarm 45 earth fault 2 appears in the display. Please note that earth fault alarms are trip lock alarms and require a power cycle before a reset attempt can be made. Before we begin the troubleshooting process, it's important to understand the definition of the alarms. By definition, an earth fault or ground fault occurs when there is current from an output phase to ground, either in the cable between the drive and the motor or in the motor itself. The current transducers detect the ground fault by measuring current going out from the drive and returning from the motor. A ground fault is issued if the deviation of the two currents is too large. The current going out of the drive must be the same as the current coming back into the drive. The only difference between an alarm 14 and an alarm 45 is when they occur. An alarm 45 will be displayed if the fault is present when the drive starts. The alarm 14 is displayed if the fault occurs while running. Since both alarms are caused by the same problem, the troubleshooting process is identical. Now that we understand what these alarms mean, we can follow some basic steps to assist in pinpointing the problem. The first step is to start simple. Remove all power from the drive and check for loose connections at the drive output terminals and the motor junction box. Loose connections can cause various problems and are responsible for a good share of these alarms. If you locate a loose connection, tighten the connection, cycle power to the drive, and attempt to reset the alarm. If the electrical connections are found to be solid, a manual initialization is recommended at this point. This procedure will clear any potential current sensor offset that may have developed. Please refer to the following slide for instruction on that process.
Warning: a manual initialization will cause the drive to revert back to factory default settings, wiping out all parameter changes, any fault log data, and any personal menu settings that have been made. It is recommended to use parameter 0-50 and choose the value all to LCP to back up the parameters before attempting this process. Here are the steps to perform a manual initialization. With the power off, press and hold the status, main menu, and OK keys. Power the drive back on while holding the keys for 5 seconds, then release. The drive will power up in a drive initialized A80 alarm if you are successful. Press the reset key to clear the alarm.
If the alarm fails to reset after the initialization, you can move on to the next step in the process. The goal here is to isolate the problem to the VFD, connected cable, or the motor itself. You can do this by simply disconnecting the motor from the VFD, resetting the fault, and attempting to run again. Either the drive will reset and run with no motor connected or trip again. Let's look at each situation a little closer. If the drive trips again after the restart attempt with no cable or motor connected, it's safe to assume that there's a problem inside the VFD. The likely cause is a bad current sensor. The drive will need to be repaired or replaced. At that point, you'll need to contact a Danfoss tech support specialist for spare part numbers and availability, or to schedule a service visit. Alternatively, the fault resets and the drive runs with no cable or motor connected to the output. When the drive receives a start command and a speed reference other than 0, the display will indicate that it is running, and there will be output voltage at the U, V, and W motor terminals. If everything appears normal while running open circuit, the problem is likely external to the drive and the cabling or motor itself. Use the appropriate tools, for example a megometer, to evaluate the cable and motor insulation for breakdown. It's important to note that it's a common misconception that if a motor runs without issue directly across the line, such as in bypass mode, that the motor is good. This is not necessarily true. A drive sends out high voltage, high frequency pulses which will find paths to ground through the smallest of pinholes in the insulation, where an AC sine wave will not. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this video helps you in being able to efficiently solve your problem.
As a review, here are some steps to take if an alarm 14 or 45 is being displayed on the LCP. Number 1, remove power from the drive and check for loose connections between the drive and motor. Tighten any loose connections, reapply power, and reset the alarm. Number 2, perform a manual initialization. This will clear any possible current sensor offsets that may have developed. Number 3, power the drive off and disconnect the motor leads from the drive. Then power the drive back on and reset the alarm. Try to run the drive with no motor attached. If the drive runs with the cables and motor disconnected and shows little to no motor current in the display, there is most likely a problem in the motor or cabling. Have a Megger test performed to the motor and cabling for evaluation of possible insulation breakdown. If the alarm 14 or 45 is still displayed when running the drive with the cables and motor disconnected, the problem is inside the drive, most likely with one or more of the current sensors. Contact Danfoss Drives technical support for parts or service information. Thank you for viewing. We hope this information has been helpful. Danfoss Drives can provide additional technical support, parts information, or repair services options by contacting us through one of the following methods. For immediate access to customer service or a technical support expert in North America, call 1-888-DANFOSS or 1-888-326-3677 or contact us through email. For technical support, the email address is Drives.TS.NA at Danfoss.com. For customer service, the email address is Drives.CS.NA at Danfoss.com. For after-sales service, the email address is Drives.TS.Service.NA at Danfoss.com. Additional information is also available on our website at www.danfossdrives.com. For contact information in areas outside of North America, please visit our global website at www.danfoss.com. Thanks again.